is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories. Their first #1 pop hit. Missing body parts. Literature. What's the word? States of the Union. And fish fry. Player 1, start us. Every Breath You Take, 1983. Okay, Player 1. Good. Player 1, Sunshine on My Shoulders, 1974. It's Player 1. Yep. You again, Player 1. Answer, the Daily Double. And you're in the lead now. Decide on your wager, Player 1. All right, here's your clue. Sunshine Superman, 1966. That puts you even further ahead. Select again. Ms. Jackson, 2001. Yes, Player 1? Yes. You get to pick a Owner of a Lonely Heart, 1984. Player 1? Good for you. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. This assassin's third, fourth, and fifth vertebrae aren't in a Baltimore cemetery. They're at the National Museum of Health and Medicine. Let's hear it, Player 2. Right. Player 2. An American urologist is said to own a very important part of this French leader who died on May 5, 1821. Okay, Player 1. You got it. Player 1. This Lord Protector's body was once buried in Westminster Abbey. It's believed his head is buried in Cambridge. Okay, Player 1. That's correct. You get to pick again. General Lee said, "He has lost his left arm, which was buried in Elwood, Virginia, but I have lost my right arm." Player 2. That is correct. Player 2. P.T. Barnum didn't have this actress's leg to stand on when she refused his $10,000 offer for it. Let's hear it, Player 1. That's right. Way to go. Player 1, where do we start? In Chapter 52 of this novel, a boisterous crowd is gathering for Fagin's execution. Let's hear it, Player 3. Right. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, Player 3. 19th century author, known for writing about a venerable mansion with 7 acutely peaked gables. Okay, Player 1. You got it. Player 1. People from the past appear to a brother and sister in Rewards and Fairies by this author of The Jungle Book. Let's hear it, Player 1. Right. Please pick again, Player 1. Modern novels with biblical titles include Jane Hamilton's The Book of Ruth and Toni Morrison's Song of Him. It's Player 3. Right. Player 3. Even Grendel would love Seamus Heaney's new translation of the Anglo-Saxon epic about this title geet. Player 2. You got it. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player 2. Make a selection. On a snail, an onomatophore is a stalk with this at the end. It's Player 1.
Yeah!
Hey, you're right. Where do we begin? If you set some Chinese punk on fire, it's because Chinese punk is this, from the Latin for set on fire. Player 2. Yes. A lot of clues. A shako is a stiff, cylindrical one of these worn by soldiers. Okay, Player 2. Good. Player 2. It's the medium on which you're traveling if you're in a hoy. It's Player 1. Good. Okay, let's get back in. If you've got quinsy, also known as tonsillitis, you've got swelling in this part of your body. Okay, Player 3. That's it. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 3. And here's Sarah.
This state's flag, featuring the Big Dipper, was designed by a 13-year-old Aleut boy.
It's Player 2. Right. Player 2. With a population of about 120,000, Columbia is this state's most populous city. Player 3. You got it. Player 3. Mississippi and it have the shortest coasts on the Gulf of Mexico, only about 50 miles apiece. Yes, Player 3. Yes. Player 3. This state has the highest average altitude of any state east of the Mississippi. Must be pretty mountainous. It's Player 2. That's correct. Player 2. Tears were shed when the Teddy Bear Museum in Naples in this state closed its doors forever in 2005. Player 1. Good. Player 1. You're in command of the board. Fry, meaning young, is often applied to this fish, like the sockeye that returns to spawn where it hatched. Player 2. That's it. Player 2. Males guard the fry of the smallmouth type of this, a sport fishing favorite. Player 3. That's right. Way to go. Player 3. The tiger type of this fish can be 1.5 feet long at birth, with dark spots and stripes that fade as it ages. Okay, Player 3. Good. Player 3. Baby catfish are called sack fry and subsist for 5 days on this even after they hatch from the egg. Yes, player 2. That's it. And the last clue for $1,000. Geographic name for the spotted green type of pike whose young eat insects before graduating to other fish. Yes, player 2. Yes. The selection will be yours, player 3, when we return from this break. Let's see what happens in Double Jeopardy with these categories awaiting the players. Graphic novels on film. Everyday Italian. Theater around the world. Insects. Daniel Boone. And The Deep Blue Sea. Let's get back into this now. You have control of the board. History diverges from this film, as the Spartans also had over 1,000 men from other Greek cities fighting at Thermopylae. Let's hear it, player 1.
Yeah!
Hey, you're right. Player 1. Johnny Depp is in England on the trail of this serial killer in the Alan Moore-inspired film From Hell. Okay, player 1. Right.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 1. Tom Hanks takes his son on a violent mission of retribution against a gangster boss in this film. Let's hear it, player 1. Hey, you're right. Player 1. Pick again. Sadly, 1994's The Crow, about a man who comes back from the dead, was the last for this star. Player 1. That is correct. Please pick again. Thora Birch and Scarlett Johansson are friends who move in together after high school in this spooky film. It's player 2. That's correct. Player 2, start us. Formaggio is this dairy product. Okay, player 3. Right. A lot of clues. This food staple is pane. Let's hear it, player 2. That is correct. Player 2. This body part is il piede. Player 2. Good for you. Player 2. This quadruped is un cavallo. Okay, player 3. Right. Player 3. This day of the week is martedì. Player 1. Good. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. The musical Les Mis didn't debut on Broadway, but in this city, its setting. Player 2. Yeah, good. A lot of clues. He directed a landmark Chinese production of his play Death of a Salesman at the People's Art Theater in Beijing. Player 1. Yes. Player 1. A Dutch TV reality show picked the muscular swinger for the European run of this Disney musical. Let's hear it, Player 1. That is correct.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 1. There's a method behind his founding of the Moscow Art Theater with Nemirovich Danchenko. Okay, Player 2. Good for you. Player 2. Here's Jimmy from our Clue Crew with the clue.
Performers in this traditional Japanese art of singing and dancing wear elaborate stylized makeup.
Let's hear it, Player 3. Good. Player 3, start us. The finest singers among species of this insect are the tree type, not the house or field type. Player 1.
Yeah!
All right, let's get it reached Texas from Mexico around 1890 and spread into most cotton-growing areas of the United States. It's Player 2. Yes. Okay, let's get back. Like 1990, 2007 was a year when these noisy insects famously swarmed the Midwest. Let's hear it, Player 2. Good for you. We return to you. Stoneflies belong to the order Plecoptera, which means pleated this. Player 1. That's it. Player 1. Two common shorthorn species of this in North America are the lubber and eastern lubber. Let's hear it, Player 3. Player 3, you're in command of the board. Ticklicker was Daniel Boone's nickname for this indispensable possession. Let's hear it, Player 1. Yes. Player 1, make a selection, please. In 1778, Daniel Boone was taken captive and adopted by Chief Blackfish of this Indian tribe. Player 3. That is correct. Player 3, start us. Cleared under Daniel Boone's direction in 1775, the Wilderness Road passed through this famous gap. Okay, Player 3. Correct. You again, Player 3. In his poem Don Juan, this Englishman wrote 7 stanzas about Daniel Boone and his virile exploits. Let's hear it, Player 1. That's correct. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player 1, make a selection. Excellent. The first of the 2 daily doubles. And you have the lead. How much? And the daily double clue. James Fenimore Cooper based this last of the Mohicans' character on Daniel Boone. Congratulations, you're still in first, Player 1. Player 1, back to you. Heading southeast, the Yucatan Channel between Mexico and Cuba leads into this sea. Player 3. That is correct. Player 3, make a selection. The Romans called it Mare Nostrum. Our sea. It's player 2. Right. Player 2, you start us off. Answer. The other daily double. You are currently in second place. So, what's your wager? Here is your clue. Astrakhan, Russia is found nearest the shores of this large sea, which is really a salt lake. That's correct. Player 2, back to you for our next selection. It's found on the southern end of the Suez Canal. Player 3? Good. Now let's take a look at that $2,000 clue, shall we? The Crimean Mountains contain prominent cliffs found on the northern coast of this sea. It's player 3. That's it. Looks like you'll all be moving on to Final Jeopardy after this break. Now, Final Jeopardy coming right up right now with this category. Poets. What are you going to wager? The Final Jeopardy clue is as follows. Fired from a job for laziness, he wrote, I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass. Did you come up with the correct response? And this correct response will add how much to your score? Let's see your response. And that correct response will add... Did you come up with the correct response? How much do you add to your total with that correct response? Congratulations, player 1. You are our new champion. Thanks for playing. We'll see you next time.